So something very powerful came up with a phone call earlier today with a prospective client, and I made a note in my notes to make a video on it on a future date, but as I'm sitting here kind of working through things on my own and doing some other creative work and prepping for this week's stuff, clinical work, I got to get it out. So in my discussion with her, it came up where, if you look at, we understand the body only heals, or you're starting to understand that. That's the starting point. Every symptom is a symptom of healing in you and in others. That means, and I cover this in the relationship workshop, and there's a reason that the people get who are doing a full eval, regardless of what your symptoms are, regardless of what your injuries are, regardless of where your starting point is. That's where we need to start. That's going to be a huge component to it. Is going to be your relationship with yourself and then with others. But if we look at it from a body only has symptoms of healing, even in how we treat others or how we respond to others or how people have responded to us. So when somebody has a moment and they go ahead and treat us a certain way, and we have an injury per se, or a trauma or a healing response from that, or a symptom of healing from that event, we can't look at that event as any less perfect, healing, essential than what our response is to it. So if somebody's treating us, whether it's a parent or a grandparent or a spouse or a boyfriend or girlfriend or a colleague or a sibling or whatever it is, and there's a million times that they've proven themselves over and over that they care or that they support or that they got your back. And then there's one time or a handful of times where they have their response to you and it creates a response inside you. That's all healing. And now you have to go ahead and do the work. We can't blame how they treated us, though, as anything other than their symptom of healing. Us getting mad at their response to us would be like us looking at an ankle swelling or a fever or a herniated disc or a tight muscle and getting mad at our bodies at it, getting mad at the ankle and getting mad that it's swelling, or getting mad that we can't digest fruit, or getting mad that the process is absolutely perfect for you. Their process was perfect for them. It just involved you, and now you have a response to them that you're now seeing where you get to go do the work. So just as I said in that, and many times over, we take 1,000,000 steps successfully. The body doesn't remember those. We take one and we step and we couldn't manage the forces of the trail and we roll our ankle and we create an injury. The body and nervous system remember that one. And that's the one that we're going to have to go do the work on. And that's the one we're going to have to do so much work in the entirety of our life so that we forgot that can harm us. Otherwise, every step we're taking, it's going to be, we're on edge all the time. And that works across the board in any realm of your life, whether it's nourishment or light or purpose or intention or beliefs or creativity or play or relationships or rest or training or activity or whatever it's going to be. So the beautiful part is that's the source of true forgiveness. We're going to get into that in the mental health workshop at the end of this month, but it's not like rewiring your mind to just forgive or to be so good at like calming and being at peace with your triggers. I've said this before. It's like, no, like when you observe that there is no symptom that your body can create that's against you, no exceptions. That means every symptom is a symptom of healing. That means there's no getting mad at it. There's no, it's kind of forgiveness of the things you called it or the way you treated it. It's like, man, I'm sorry, body. Like, damn it, dude, you had my back this entire time. And whenever we discover that, we discover it. Could be 20 years into our life, could be 10 seconds into our life, could be 80 years into our life. But whenever you discover it, that's when this true lightness comes up, where it's like, holy shit, you had my back the entire time. And then you start looking at all these encounters, whether it's with your children, whether it's with you, whether, as I said, whether it's with your spouse, or whether it's with you, or whether outside of you, you start to see that some of those ways that you were treated was just a swelling or an inflammatory or a febrile or a limp. It was a response from them. They're not wrong. They're perfect because they're responding to something in their life as a symptom of healing in their life. And you're going to then have yours. That's why these things cycles, because nobody understands that the body only heals. We understand that we got to do all this work to kind of keep everything at bay, and that there's some pathological stuff, and some people are wrong, and these people are sick, and they're diseased, and they're labeled this, and they're diagnostically this, and their labs are this, and their metrics are this. Like, wait a second. From the starting point, there is no symptom of healing outside. There is no other symptom. It's symptoms of healing. Done. Across the board. And that's the words I'm going to use from now on. No exceptions. So that even means with the relationship with yourself or others. Then you start to see, and then you start to thank those instances, because it allowed you to see something that you get to now work on and change. Just like accidents or events or falls or slips or crashes or all these things. You're like, oh, fuck yeah. Thank you for that. Because look at what I now get to do and experience because I had that opportunity. So now we see all that people present to us. But again, getting mad at somebody treating you a certain way, or that they made you, first of all, they can't make you feel a certain way, but you have these feelings that were protection, and you don't want to repeat these feelings because it doesn't feel good, just like you don't want to repeat a limp or swelling. So now you got to go do the work so that you get to process that event. But now you're thanking them and looking at them, and just like you would look at your body. You're not going to blame the swelling of your body. I hope, at least that's where we're going on this page and in my office. Or you're not going to blame your ankles, or you're not going to blame your rigid muscle, or you're not going to blame your bone loss. You're not going to blame your digestive capacity. You're not going to blame anything outside yourself, because it doesn't make any sense. Everything you're doing, everything you're exposed to is creating a reaction in you that is now for you. If it's symptoms enough that it's bringing to your awareness, symptoms of healing, symptoms of healing, then that's what you get to work with. But again, we don't get mad. We're not spending any of our energy that is so precious. The body doesn't like fucking around using energy on stuff that isn't for just survival or anything else. It's doing it for a reason. So go in there. It's not going to do it because it's just arbitrary, or because it's a Sunday, or because you turned 59, or just randomly because of this season, or the stars are in alignment on this thing. It's beyond that. It's for you. I think Buddhists said, like, don't waste the accidents, or don't waste the tribulations, or something like that. Like, yeah, don't waste that opportunity or that moment, because your body's not wasting energy on anything. And if you're sensing it and you're seeing it, it's for you. If it's within your observation, then it's for you. Why? What's it for? Here we go. And so again, with this comes this lightness to it, where it's, no matter what the response is, what do I get to see from this? And we went into, I think it was like 4 hours in that relationship Zoom workshop, and why it's included in full evals, and why we got to start muscle, because your muscle is your currency for change. Your muscle is your ability to understand nourishment and digest your changes. Your muscle is the ability for you to survive chemo, working with another doctor or practitioner. You be able to survive a light, be able to digest light, or be able to understand even what light is. You being able to be honest with yourself is going to come from your level of muscle. We start there. Now, what are the biggest things that affect a muscle's ability to do anything at any given time, let alone grow? It's going to be part of your relationship with you, relationship with food, relationship with medicine, relationship with practitioners, relationship with intentions and beliefs and feelings and thoughts and family and loved ones and whatever it is. So a way to look at it differently. And it was burning in me to bring this out, because it was such a powerful moment in this short conversation, where then you just start talking about it matter of factly. It's not like, oh yeah, oh, this happened to me, and oh, this happened to me. This is what I did with it. Pretty awesome, right? And everyone's all like awkward because we're not allowed to talk about these things. Like, wait a second. Or we're only talking about it so that everybody can be like, oh, yeah, me too. Oh, trauma, trauma, trauma. Oh, I know. Let's start a group. Like, no. The whole thing was for the opportunity for you. Then what'd you do with it? That's why, again, I've said many times over, like if somebody has a big story of something they went through, I'm like, then what'd you do? Like, that's what I'm so excited to find out. It's like, oh, nothing. I just blame my crippleness on that war. I blame my PTSD on that event, or I blame my... But you survived it. I wonder why. I wonder why you're here. Like, just to tell the story, and then to blame the event, and then blame why you chose to be in the event, and then blame your body for keeping you here to learn more, to use more wisdom, to gain more ability, even if you have one leg, even if you got all your organs cut out by choice, or even if you had XYZ, or even if you were married to XYZ, or even if you gave up time for XYZ. No. Like, I just have so much more exciting follow-ups for that. And so again, I don't waste a sunburn. I don't waste what they call food poisoning. I don't waste injury. I don't waste a bad night's sleep. Bad being, I would love to sleep deeply. Didn't? Why? Let's go to work. It's not sitting around saying the body only heals. And then like, yay, I didn't choose any supplements or tools or, no, what? No, so much more here. So, another way to look at it. Somebody's treating you a certain way, you have a feeling, you have a response inside you, it's a symptom of healing. Their reaction to this was their symptom of healing. And just like we wouldn't get mad at our symptoms of healing, you can't get mad at theirs. Forgiveness, lightness, release. Going to go over this even more so in the mental health Zoom, and it's in the relationship Zoom as well, but it's a potent point to ponder. Boom.